Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome to Better Together. When you know better, you get better. That is what we do here every single day. It is Thursday, February 4th, 2021. Our quote of the day. Will you accept this rose? Guys, really?
Yes. Yes, I will.
My two Bachelor psychos here. I think that that's the greatest quote we can come up with. Will you accept this rose? And that is from Tayshia Adams, our guest today, because she's the guest.
Oh, that was
if
so
it was
funny.
Chris Harrison, he would
be
say,
Chris.
Tayshia, this is your final rose.
That's right.
Yes.
And she's like, no shit, Sherlock.
I have a funny feeling that she has a better quote than that in her.
I
We'll
bet
have to
she
ask her.
does. I bet
Yeah.
she does. If you haven't heard of Tayshia Adams, guys, she is the most recent Bachelorette, regarded as one of the most interesting in recent memory. Is that true, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By
People
whom?
really look at Tayshia's season. Well, because you're kind of a newer fan, Maria. So you don't have a ton to reference, but Tayshia really asked deep questions with her suitors.
Uh-huh.
Like normally they ask things like, I did so many pageants. Like, will our kids do that many pageants too? Whereas she was like, how did your perception of yourself change when George Floyd happened? Like when she started asking these questions, it really kind of changed the series.
Interesting. But do you think that
Yeah.
that was because we were living in the craziest of times where
Maybe.
we were dealing with BLM and we were dealing with COVID and all of that?
I think yes, but I also feel like she was able to get way more vulnerable and like so much more out of these men than in previous seasons. They were all just kind of like scraped the surface, at least the ones that I can remember.
And Maria, did or did not she just seem special?
She
She
was
was,
very
yeah.
You know
special.
what I mean? She was light.
Yeah.
She was light and something I hadn't seen in a Bachelorette or a Bachelor.
Yeah,
you
for
know.
sure.
I think she was just special.
Well, she's regarded as one of the most interesting in recent memory. Just confirming, just making sure I know why, because someone else must be wondering why if they're not like diehards like you guys.
Yeah,
totally.
So we are going to chat with her about how she defied audience expectations to create her own story and how you can too.
Woo.
I also kind of like how she shattered kind of the stereotypes that women have to deal with and the pitfalls that women have to deal with. It's like
Yeah.
okay for guys to have a million like makeout sessions and girls can't, and of course it goes deeper than that. So she kind of was like, I'm gonna experience this all and I'm gonna live it and I don't care what anybody says. And I think that that's a quality that I want more of. So it'll be interesting to find out where that came from with her.
Yeah.
well said.
Because I think we can all spend so much time worried about what other people are going to say, what are other people going to think, especially when you do something like that. Can you imagine the pressure from, your parents? Like, okay, when it comes to the fantasy suites, only pick one, because if you pick all three, then you might look bad. I mean, you can imagine those are the conversations that could happen because the show's so well known.
Yeah.
They know what's coming.
I could not imagine watching this with my parents.
My God.
No way. No way. But I really, really liked her. I thought that she was a very special contestant, and she was just so much more mature than we have seen in the last couple years. It was refreshing.
What is the craziest thing you guys have watched with your parents?
I've watched a lot with my
man.
parents.
Okay, I'll start.
Yeah, you go.
Bridesmaids.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
watched
yeah.
with mine. Mm-hmm.
Guys, I've watched so many things accidentally comedy-wise where I'm sitting with them and it's like the awkward laugh and then we're like, screw it. And then we all start laughing because we're like, okay, we're all adults now. We're not, in that period of time where you have to be worried. But it is funny when you get caught
Yeah.
and like there's like sex scenes and weird things and your parents are there.
It never goes away either. Like,
No.
I know we're all adults, Maria, but I don't care. It's still my parents, and I still feel like a 12-year-old who's not supposed to be seeing what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, Mom, Dad, this scene's kind of inappropriate. And they're like, Jeff, it's fine. And I'm like, I don't know. Bridgerton was the most recent. I don't know if you guys have seen that show. It's Shonda Rhimes' new breakout Netflix show. I didn't watch a ton of it, but Laura was actually watching it with my parents, and it is naughty. It's like a bodice
Naughty.
ripper kind of romance show. And I bet a lot of our audiences watch
I'm
Bridgerton
sure.
because Netflix says it's the most streamed show they've had.
Wait,
People
and
are
so
loving
Laura was okay with it, watching it with your
No,
parents?
she literally texted me. She's like, tell me you need my help with something. I was like, Laura, can you come help me with something? And she's like,
No.
yeah, no problem. Yeah,
No way.
Were your parents okay watching it with her?
I think so. I feel like it's interesting as they've gotten older, they've almost gotten more chill about stuff. which is cool.
Yeah, I feel like I'm weird. I can't think of anything. Like, I would watch everything with my parents. I don't know why it doesn't bug me. I think it's just because that's our relationship.
You guys but you've called your parents Doug and Deb.
Yeah,
it's different. Like, you weren't like mommy, daddy.
Yeah,
you're like Doug, Deb.
I'm like, do you guys
get me this, yo? Get me that, yo.
I'm like, do you guys want to go to the theater and watch Bridesmaids or? Yeah, so I don't know.
It's a different kind of thing. So guys, I know that we posted a really kind of powerful video on Instagram yesterday that showed some healing and energy work that I've been doing with my mom, and I did it so that I could show you guys the power that you have inside of you. And I'm going to share 2 books that I think, if you're interested in more, or 3 books if you're interested in more of this healing, kind of laws of attraction, and kind of more about kind of quantum physics and what you really are capable of doing. There are 3 books. Joe Dispenza's You Are the Placebo, Esther Hicks' Ask and It Is Given, and then this other one is called Hands of Light, which really talks about like healing and how to do it.
Who's that by?
I don't remember the author.
Barbara Brennan.
There you go.
Oh, Jeff.
And so, and in the Patreon this week, I'm going to share a detailed description of how I did it. And I did it more than once, but also how you can do it too. So if you want, you can join us over in the Patreon, of course. That's kind of where we deep dive a lot deeper. We have our healing workshops that you can be a participant in, and we've got a new one coming up with Cindy Dale. We're doing a heart chakra opening.
I'm so excited. Jeff, are you going to be a part of that?
Oh yeah. I wouldn't. I'm a heal squad.
Kevin, are you going to be a part of that?
No.
Okay.
No?
Just
Of course I'll be part of it.
Oh,
Come
okay.
on.
I don't know.
I might be more in the audit phase.
Kevin, you've gotten a lot of compliments on your background, by the way.
No way.
Yeah, well, okay.
Hawaii 5-0 Kev?
Yeah,
Okay.
on the comments, and I've gotten a couple texts. My mother and Stephanie both like the background.
Okay. I love it.
So,
So anyway, join us on the Patreon. You can click the link tree on Better Together with Maria. While you're there, please follow for Kelsey's sake. She's desperate for us to get to 10,000.
I'm desperate.
And then, or you can go to Maria Menounos and sign up there. But today is a bittersweet day because it's also Jeff's last day.
Jeff.
With the exception, I think, of a Priyanka Chopra interview.
Yeah.
He'll be a part of that.
Yeah.
You
But
guys can't get rid of me.
we can't get rid of you that fast. But Jeff, I want to also say thank you for the beautiful flowers that you guys sent yesterday. They were gorgeous.
I went with Books, Maria, because of your recommendation. So
Books,
Books.
beautiful flowers. So Books
Yes.
are really amazing. They're fresh cut flowers and they last super, super duper long.
Wow.
So if you buy their BOUQS, I like buying my flowers from there because I know that they're going to last somebody
That's
like 2
awesome.
weeks. It's like crazy how long they last.
What a tip.
So
What a
we'll
tip.
see. We'll test Jeff's.
Yeah. There you
We'll
go.
see how long they last. But thank you for that. And I know you're going off to make your movie and do all this stuff, but you're going to be terribly missed for your beautiful heart and soul and what you've brought to this show. And when we get all of our comments and reviews, it's like they're like, we love Maria, Jeff, and Kelsey. So
It's true.
I think we'll talk a little bit more at the end of the show, but yeah, it's not gonna be fun without you.
Well, the truth is, like, I'm going to be at this Cindy Dale Heart Chakra event in a week. Like, I'm such a fan of the show that I'm going to be still in the Heal Squad. But obviously, I mean, if you all really want to see, I think, what was the meat of the send-off a couple weeks ago, you all had some really beautiful words for me. And of course I did too. And I know very, very deeply that this is not the last time we'll be working together, even if it's just not in this
Agreed.
exact capacity. So the business is just too small. And we've built too much of a cool thing here professionally for it to just end. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for you to make your movie too. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, me too.
Me
It's going to
too.
be exciting. It's my next chapter.
What did Jeff tell me the other day? He said, "Oh yeah, and then you guys can have me on the show as a guest." And I was like, "Okay, Jeff."
I mean, we'll put it through the process. So
Jeff Maria know that she's probably going to be acting in it and producing it, but that's later.
Cool.
I mean, I will
Cool.
take it. If
Do
Maria
I have-
Menounos wants to be in my movie, I will take it.
do I get do I have to do a nude or something? Is that
Please, no.
We're talking about it.
do I have to be in a fantasy suite?
Yeah. Wait,
I
can
am
I?
turning beet red.
Oh my God, look at Jeff.
Can you imagine, Jeff? Maria, I have a nude part in the movie, and I'm like, Jeff, that's so weird.
Look at his face.
I'm dying. There are a couple sexy scenes in the movie, and I'll have to see how I
Oh.
do directing them.
Wow.
Nothing too crazy. It's PG. I'd say it's PG-13, but they're college students, so.
So they like to get a little risque.
Jeff. It's gonna be so hard for Jeff.
It is.
I think I'll be in it though. I'm gonna focus on the characters. I'll be able to
Yes.
talk about what the scene is, and I'll
Totally.
be fine.
I love it.
Well-
When do you actually start filming?
Filming starts end of July.
Oh, you get time.
I've got some time. It's gonna come fast, but we've got some time, which is good.
Got it.
Yeah.
End of July. And when does true pre-production start for you?
Kind of next week. Like
Really?
I have a location scout next Wednesday.
So you're flying to Florida?
No, so it's
Oh
in
shit!
Ox-
It was in your town.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in Miami of Ohio, which is very confusing. I know.
I don't know why I'm still stuck on Florida.
I
Yeah.
like Florida.
You're not the only person. Trust me. It's
Really?
we will say Miami University existed before Florida was even a state. It's the second oldest public institution in the nation, or maybe
Wow.
the third. There's William and Mary Ohio University, then
Okay.
Miami. So we're proud of it, but you're not the first person to get that confused.
All right. Well, Jeff,
so it's
in
exciting.
honor of you leaving, our Dunkin' coffee break today is dedicated to you. We are raising a cup to Jeff, and not just any cup. We are raising Jeff's signature slow coffee.
That's right.
Made with original blend grounds. So, Jeff, slow coffee, will you give everyone who may have missed it the explanation of what slow coffee is?
I will. And first of all, I also want to say if Dunkin' wasn't great enough as a place to go, obviously we love Dunkin' here. Their team is amazing. And I want to say thanks to Corey and Michael and Zoe and anyone else I might be missing for this beautiful read. Like, obviously they're listening to the show, which is amazing.
Yeah,
so we
it's
love you
really
guys.
special.
A slow coffee. I'm going to try to keep this concise. But I would say a slow coffee is that sacred, treasured, 15 or 20 minutes when it's just you and your coffee. You're just taking, in Duncan's case, it's just you and your beautifully, richly ground, delicious, smooth, sacred coffee. And it's just kind of your time to be with yourself. So, you can think about your day, you can plan out what's going to be next, or you can just kind of look outside and enjoy the view and listen to the birds. So that's a slow coffee.
Okay.
That is the slow coffee. So
Yes.
if we can just save that little explanation, we'll just out of nowhere, a
Yeah.
non sequitur. Hey, hey Vin Diesel, have you heard about slow coffee? No, it's slow
Amazing.
coffee, and then we pop it in.
Oh.
Just random. I want to just start randomly introducing people to slow coffee.
Kevin will not let anyone forget.
No.
No.
slow coffee.
I've tried it with other things. Jeff doesn't quite work, but
We try. What we do?
slow Diet Cokes,
Yeah.
slow errands, slow
Slow
nachos,
burritos.
slow burritos.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think slow is the word. I mean,
But slow coffee is
I-
like perfect.
Yeah, it's just
so a little bit about the actual coffee. It's the Dunkin' Original Blend is brewed with 100% Arabica. How do you say it? Arabica?
I've heard Arabica as well.
Arabica.
Arabica coffee.
Yeah.
I should know this as a Dunkin',
You should.
person, but
all right.
it's always freshly brewed and prepared just the way you like it. Of course, that smooth taste is signature to Dunkin'. That's why I love them. And of course, it's perfect for regular Guy Fridays too, honey. And you can get it at all your Dunkin' locations. Of course, they have everything else you could want as well. But in honor of Jeff today, we're going to be enjoying our slow coffee as Jeff's final Better Together slow coffee with us.
Wow.
They
And Jeff
sent me
also
a
has
dozen
donuts.
They
Jeff,
sent you a dozen donuts?
so
Yes.
sweet, right?
Aw, oh, and there's heart donuts.
And I just
It's
again,
amazing.
shout out to our team who we work with. Like, they're so wonderful. They sent that to Jeff.
Yeah,
Just what an incredible partnership.
I love it.
We love our Dunkin' and our slow coffee.
We
and
run
Jeff.
on Dunkin' here,
That's
just
right.
like the rest of America. All right, let's get to our interview with Tayshia. Tayshia Adams is one of the most recognized faces in the ABC Bachelor franchise, having appeared in 3 iterations of the show. She's the most recent lead on The Bachelorette, breaking the internet by taking Claire's place after she left her season early. As a fan favorite since her debut on Underwood season. Tayshia is the true epitome of grace and class. Ladies and gentlemen, Tayshia Adams, welcome. We're so happy to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. This is such a treat.
Well, we really, really, really enjoyed your season. And
did you?
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I have to say I go in and out. I'm not always watching. When my husband and I do watch, we get addicted very quickly because it's, a very well produced show. But Jeff and Kelsey are like the diehard Bachelor franchise fans.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Oh, I made Maria watch your whole season. We
Yeah,
watched
she was
it together.
like, we're going to start watching this season. And I was like, okay. And so we would get our wine and we would watch. And you just, I'll never forget, like the biggest thing I remember with you was I just kept saying like, you have this like beautiful blend of, obviously you were incredibly stunning. Like you walked in and like my jaw dropped. I was like, holy moly, she's gorgeous.
Thank you.
But you're very like feminine. And I don't feel like we see a lot of like real feminine women. I feel like it's something that we're all trying to work back to get into because we've become so masculine in life to succeed, to keep up in a man's world and all of that. And I know for me, I've had to really kind of return to my femininity. But I really admired that about you. You were so feminine and so bright, but then you were strong when you needed to be. Where do you think kind of you were able to kind of get that alchemy, I guess?
I feel like that comes from my mom. And just growing up, I feel like my dad definitely raised me to be a little bit more tough. And so, which is why I can hold my own when I need to. But he always really embraced me being a girl and being a delicate person, if you will, in the best way. And my mom always instilled that in me as well. It's like just being confident in myself, but also just, I am a woman that could be taken care of by a man that I truly love, but also at the same time, I could be really strong on my own. So it's just, I don't know. My parents taught me.
Yeah.
It comes from my parents.
Yeah. Like I always thought being delicate was a weakness, right? So I felt like I had to be tougher than the boys. I had to like be able to like fight and just like I never wanted to be vulnerable and I never wanted to not be able to like be the one to protect and defend. And I don't know, maybe in like another life, I think for sure I was like a soldier, I was CIA, I was FBI, I was all these things because there's stuff wired in my body that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I remember that about you and you just carried yourself so well. And also when you had to deal with confrontation, which I don't know, have you always been okay with confrontation? And I don't mean like in an argumentative way. I mean, just being able to confront an issue and have a discussion.
I will say that probably came from after my divorce. I think I learned that communication is just, it's huge. Like no one's a mind reader. And you need to be able to vocalize your feelings if you're going to want something in return, and with that, I think I looking back, I learned a lot of things that I did wrong and how a situation could not have escalated to some point if I would have just vocalized things and approached the situation head on, as opposed to kind of just, I don't know, most women could kind of just sit back and, you're pissed off when you're like, yes, okay, giving those short answers. But when you vocalize, it changes a lot of things.
Yeah. How do you do it? Like, are you scared when you have to go and kind of face that moment with somebody? Like on the show, you would like walk right up confidently, could we speak? And you'd go and you do your thing. Is it easy for you on the inside?
No.
Okay.
In fact, it's so funny. Everyone's like, you were never nervous. I'm like, you're kidding. I was shaking the whole time. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I was always so nervous. But no, again, I think that's where my dad kind of like my dad in me kind of comes out. He's very much so someone that's just like, no, we're sitting down and talking about this right now. Like, let's do it. And I think that is something he's taught me. And I kind of just I don't know. I've learned along the way, I guess.
Yeah. You've been in this world for a while. What do you think are some of like the greatest lessons you've learned from being a part of this franchise?
Um, well, you do you don't have much communication with the outside world or your parents, um, your inner circle. You really just have to trust yourself and your instincts
Mm.
and your decisions, and um, you have to be at peace with that.
Did you
You
get
know what I mean?
better over time and after each experience? Did you get better at trusting yourself?
Oh, tremendously. Which is why I think like for Bachelorette, I knew I was ready because I trusted myself enough to be like, if I feel something, I'm going to feel it. I'm going to let myself feel it. If I'm not into it, I know myself enough to where I'm not going to put myself in a situation and, have myself struggle through it just because I'm trying to get something out of something. Like
Mm-hmm.
I'm very much so myself, and you can tell when I'm not into something or I'm in it.
Yeah. Um, I feel like trusting your gut and trusting yourself is something we talk about on the show all the time. I mean,
Mm.
our show is really like a self improvement show, but we're always trying to get better in all areas of life. And I think one of the biggest areas is learning to trust yourself and your inner voice. What advice do you have for people to be able to cultivate that?
I would say deep down, you know what you want. I mean, I feel like that instinct kind of comes out at first, and if something doesn't sit right or something looks like, if something, sorry, I'm like, can't formulate my
Don't
sentence right
worry.
now. But if something doesn't feel right, you get that intuition. I feel like us as women, we are so incredibly gifted with that. And I think that for whatever reason it is, sometimes we choose to like oversee that, or just, can classify that as like overthinking or whatever that may be and make excuses for it. But just trusting in your gut. I know, when something doesn't feel right. And I kind of lean into that a little bit more, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, also, having that experience where you have been locked out from the world and you were left to your own kind of self is
Mm-hmm.
such a great experiment. And it makes me wonder if we should all be less apt to run to the outside world for answers and outside people and calling your best friend and be like, what do you think? Do you think he likes me? Do you think he's good? Do you think all this stuff? And rather just spend that time with yourself and listening to yourself, because now you're asking, by the way, this makes no friggin' sense. I'm now asking you what you think. You weren't there. You've never met him. You have no clue. And now I'm going to trust your answer?
Yes.
Right. How does that make any sense? It doesn't.
No.
And honestly, I feel like when we do that, we're looking for validation for what we do want deep down, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say. We know deep down, but we just, we make it so confusing.
Yeah.
And I really think this is why people don't understand in that type of circumstance with the show. They don't understand how you can fall in love so quickly or how you can feel things so quickly. If you take away all the distractions of the world, you really are left with this. Like this is your main thing on your plate.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're constantly giving it attention and nourishing it and really trying to figure out the ins and outs of it. And at the bottom line, at the end of the day, it's like, if you're into him, you're into him. And if you start to like him because he checks off this box and you just start to like him, it's not rocket science. It's whether it's going to last, it's a whole nother situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we kind of saw that with Claire and Dale. I think they were just so hot and heavy, and just like she was just so zeroed in on him. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't.
You never know. You never know. We all have different checklists,
What was
What's
your
important to us.
checklist?
Loyalty is huge for me. Loyalty and trust, and so I feel like I'm really good at figuring out if people are being like phony, just like being something in front of me because I don't know, they think I want to see that. And I was pleasantly surprised that there were a couple of men that were just very much of themselves, and they kind of like they were sweating, like they were like trip over things that weren't even there on the floor, like, you know, and that's just them being authentically them, and I could see that they weren't trying too hard. And so I let myself experience relationships I probably normally wouldn't, because I could tell they were good people and I could see something outside of that. So
Yeah.
I just trusted them.
Oh my God. Okay, we had so much fun watching the show because
Oh, no.
there were people
We really
that,
did.
yeah, like I just was starting to think of people, and I'm like, okay, we had like nicknames for them because we just wrote to remember what they did for a living for a minute.
Okay.
Yes.
But like Massachusetts boy,
Roofer boy.
what was his name?
Brendan.
Oh my God, Brendan. I never would have picked him out in that show
I
at the
loved him.
beginning. And then the more you talk to him, the more we fell in love. Like, what a good guy. Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Ivan was my favorite
Maria
from
loved
Go.
Ivan.
I loved Ivan. I want to marry Ivan, even though I am married. If I could marry a second person, it would be him. But then you know, like you go through them, and I'm like, okay, Brendan. I thought Brendan was gonna be the one, and then obviously kind of took himself out of the equation a little bit, which I thought was so admirable of him to be so honest and not take you down a path that wasn't going to work out because he wasn't ready.
Right.
Then you have Ivan, and I was like, oh, I love Ivan. Good guy, smart, successful, all this like pure, huge heart. But I was like, I think he's gonna be a little boring for her. Like, I just was like, I don't think he's got enough like zest for you, right?
Yeah. Yes.
And then there was Brad.
Ben, right?
What?
Ben.
I mean Ben was his own hot mess. Sorry, that I knew Ben was not gonna work. I knew Ben was, because Ben started falling apart, and I was just like, I don't know. You know, at first he looked like a contender, and then just that didn't happen.
Zach was the one.
Wait, and then Rolls Royce boy.
Rolls Royce.
Oh, Bennett.
Bennett.
Oh, Bennett. Tayshia, Chris told us that Bennett was his favorite. What the heck is that about?
That is so funny. Probably because Bennett was just, he was such a character. Like, was he real? Like,
I don't know.
And with that jade roller in the massive eyes, like he would actually be doing this kind of stuff. Like, it's so beyond.
But did you ever see a possibility with him truly?
I mean,
no, that's a no.
I will tell you this. The fact that he is so educated, he explained to me that, you know, everything he has now, he actually worked really hard for. He was not given anything as a child. And like, I like ambition. Ambition is very attractive to me. Also, the fact that he traveled, I was like, you know what? I could travel to Paris with this guy. Like, why not? So yeah, I gave it a shot. But I don't know. He probably has more spa days than I do. So that's a red flag. You know?
Tayshia, did you want to die during the Bennett Noah drama? I need to know.
Oh my God.
Did you want to just die?
Noah.
You guys could tell in my face. I was like, this is not that. I was I was annoyed beyond belief. They were children. It was literally a child's play.
But like, here's the thing that I was seeing. Like, Noah was truly getting bullied by Bennett, and he was being really like harsh and kind of mean. But then at the same time, I'm like, dude, you're a guy. Like, pony up here. Like, what are we talking about? Why are you crying to Tayshia? Why are you crying to everybody? Like, if you can't handle like a guy just being a dick to you, then you definitely are going to be able to handle me.
100%. The thing is, I think with Noah, he comes from a really big family, so I think he could like deal with it. But at the same time, I don't know. I think he's a little bit more like, he's a little more soft, and not in a bad way, but I think he's a little bit more emotional than he lets on.
Yeah.
So.
But he could have been like, he's too young, I think, in a maturity kind of place. But you know, he was cute and whatever. And then of course there was Zach, and Zach like there were just certain guys you just like, you dove onto, and I'm like, oh, I know that dive. Okay.
Wait, really?
Yeah, like we could just feel your energy with them.
Totally.
But it did feel like there wasn't a clear person. Did you feel like there was a clear person the whole way through? Did you feel like Zach was the clear person?
No, which
Yeah.
is why when people say like, oh yeah, like I totally saw you were so intense at the beginning. I'm like, really? Because like, I'm pretty sure I like didn't realize that at all until,
Yeah.
I don't think it was until, like after our one-on-one where I was like, okay, wait, like I see something here. And he was my third one-on-one. So it took some time.
Mm-hmm.
It took some time.
Yeah, because we didn't see him either in that way. Because he seemed like, he was there, but he was kind of like, I don't know. And, he was kind of like perturbed by the Claire thing. And just, he hadn't kind of found his footing. But I feel like you were really into Massachusetts boy. Brendan. And Brendan had something that you just saw. I think you saw his like soul and how special he was, because he just was. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he wears his heart on his sleeve, and he is just a very, I don't know, just it was a weird feeling. We definitely had a connection from the beginning.
Yeah. So it was him, and then it became Zach, and then when we would see you with Zach, my husband was like, "Oh yeah, that's the guy." Like there was with the body painting, like all of it. It was just like you would dive onto him. We're like, okay, damn, it's gonna be him, I think. And then Ivan was like warm. It was like Ivan, like you were really curious, right? And you knew he was a good person, so you were going down the path. Was there anybody I'm missing that you guys remember? Jeff, do you remember anybody else?
Gosh, it's funny how it changes so fast. But the Canadian, you guys had a really interesting journey too. It ended up, can you remind me of his name? It's so bad. It goes away so fast. Blake,
Oh,
thank you.
Yeah, Blake.
Which one was Blake?
Blake.
Oh, no! Blake! What? Come on!
They did their whole, oh my God, with
No.
the healing and the
so
crystals and
No.
Tayshia's face.
No, that, I'm sorry. I'm going to breed into the ABC controversy of this week where there were things pushed on people. That was pushed. I'm sorry.
Tayshia's poor face.
There's no freaking way. Blake, all he did was bitch and complain the entire season. I was like, there's no way she's going to be with this guy ever in a million friggin' years. Sorry.
Oh my God.
There's my passion.
So funny. I love hearing people's takes on everything. It's so good. Because I see so much more. And then, when they finally air it, I'm like, okay, well, 10 times more things happened. And this conversation went a completely different direction. But you guys make up your own little stories.
Okay, so what was Blake like then? Was there a real connection with Blake? No.
Yeah, oddly, like, Blake wasn't really like at the top of the list until I kissed Blake, and then I realized that we had chemistry. But he didn't stand out very much. Like he kind of like was on the sidelines. And so because he didn't really like pursue me, I feel like he just kind of stayed at the sidelines, and other people started to progress a lot quicker. And then when I did have that one-on-one with him, like I felt like there was something there that we could have like kind of tried to explore. But at that point, it was kind of like, I'm doing you a disservice and me a disservice to keep you around, because I just truly feel like we just kind of missed it.
Yeah, like there was that space that didn't happen, and now you've already accelerated with everybody else. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Riley was the other one.
Riley.
He was so sweet.
Which one?
Let me pull up a
Riley's
picture
the
for you.
attorney, and he lives in New York too.
Very straight face. Yeah.
But he was tough. Like you weren't gonna have fun with him. You know what was sad about him is he's got some traumas that he needs to work through, because when he smiled, he lit up.
Completely different person.
Totally different person. So he's in there. Like Riley, happy, fun Riley is deep down in there, but he's covered up with like so many scars. And I was like, dude, I just wanted to shake him and be like, come on,
you got this. Like, you're incredible. That's literally why I kept telling him, because I feel like, I mean, I don't want to speak on like his past or anything like that, in a sense of like, no one's ever told him that, but I just wanted to be like, look, like I'm actually sitting in front of you and I'm telling you, you're phenomenal. Just you were the most improved. Like you actually came out of your shell towards the end, you know?
Yeah.
But it took some time. It takes time. And I feel like there was just more that needed to be done there.
Yeah. Okay. So when did you know, no, it was Zach? And did you feel pressure to like accelerate it so that it ended with, you know, what is kind of expected on that show?
I knew for sure, like once I met his family, I feel like just seeing him with his family. And I just remember when I was about to go talk to his like parents and he was gonna go talk to his brother, as he's walking out the door, he's like, by the way, I've told her everything, so you can ask her anything. And it was just like, that was like the confidence I needed to just be like, there's no skeletons in the closet. And that's just like how he was since day one. He's like, talk about anything. And like, it wasn't in front of cameras. It was nothing. It was like in passing, just to have like his parents have a peace of mind of like, oh, what can I not bring up and all kinds of. He's like, tell her anything.
That's amazing. So,
that's huge. It's just like good qualities like that, you know?
Yeah.
But no, I never felt pressure of having to be engaged at the end. And I think, I don't remember if that was even a conversation I had with some of the producers, but they just said they would just want me to be happy and whatever that looked like. And from the beginning, I was like, well, I don't know if I'm going to get engaged. And like, I just said that just to, you know, put it out there.
And make sure you reserve the right to not.
Yeah.
You never know.
I like that.
But yeah, no, I never felt like they were like, okay, so you should get engaged. No, they never did that to me.
But you know, the other thing I'm realizing right now that was also cool about your season is there were so many odd things that happened because of the circumstances with COVID and you guys all being in that place. Like, you know, Bennett showing up and coming back. So when those things happened, were those just real time things where it's like you really had to make a decision and they weren't like, hey, this could be good. Like, let's do it if you're into it.
Yeah. No, they were definitely real-time things. To the point where like, I remember someone being like, I didn't know if you were going to like have him stay. Like you actually invited him to the rose ceremony. I'm like, yeah, because I don't know what the heck I'm doing right now. I need a minute. And so nobody ever made me feel like I needed to do anything.
Yeah, like I feel like you were able to just like really be in charge in a way I don't think I've seen. And like I said, I haven't seen every season. I've seen a bunch. But you were able to be like, nope, canceling. Nope, not doing that. Yes, doing this. Okay, we'll do that. All right. And I was like, wow, she's like running the show. And I thought that was neat.
I will tell you, I've been on a couple of these things, right? I can 100% say like, I do not feel edited, like how everyone says. Like, I do not feel edited or like they didn't show me. I definitely feel like, no, that was me. Like, yeah, I actually did get that upset or yeah, I was having that much fun. Like I was watching back some of the episodes like with a full on smile because it was me and I was proud of myself.
That's great.
So
awesome. Yeah, I think it was really a cool season. So you guys are where now? Where is everything at?
Well, we're both in LA now, but Zach lives in New York. I still have my place here in Orange County. But on Christmas Eve, I went to New York with him. So I've been living there for the past month. And, you know, I thought it was going to be a really hard transition because I'm an Orange County girl. But honey, I am officially a New York City girl.
Wow. Okay.
I love it so much.
Even the cold?
I love it. I don't know what it is. I think I've always wanted to move to New York though. Also, like I've been in Orange County / California my whole life. And I've been itching for something like this. And so I finally got it. And so I'm just really living my best life.
Nice. And what are the plans from here?
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
What are the plans from here? Like wedding, kids, the whole shebang.
Yeah, I mean, we've talked about, you know, when we're going to get married. We have no rush to that. It's definitely going to happen. We just don't know when. I was saying like, let's like be engaged, but date for like at least a year. And, cause I just think that we have like so much to catch up on and we're doing that. And it's been really fun. So maybe 2022, something like that.
Okay.
But at the same time, I already am living with him. I'm, I'm doing well. I think we're doing really well.
Okay. And kids?
Yeah.
What's
Oh,
the
I
idea on
definitely want kids. I said I wanted 5 on the show, but now I'm kind of going down to 4.
Okay.
Why, Tayshia?
Huh?
Why'd you lose one?
Well, I lost one. Well, because then I started like thinking about it, and that would require me to have at least like one set of twins, and it's just a lot of work. So I don't know. Whatever God gives me, I'll be happy with. But yeah.
But you guys aren't actively trying now.
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well,
I think like, yeah, I can wait a hot minute. If it happens, it happens. Who knows?
Yeah. Very cool. Well, I'm glad you guys are happy, and I'm glad that you're taking your time. I think it's so important to really get to know, because the other thing that people don't realize is, okay, cool, chemistry fades. Like that hotness kind of fades, and then are you still happy with this person, and does this person still make you happy, and are you guys growing together? And there's so many like checkpoints. Like my husband and I have been together for 21 years, like my whole like adult life. And
wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. And so I feel like, there are so many checkpoints. Like, are we going to make it? Okay. Ooh, here we are. Okay, cool. And then, okay, here we go. And so you don't know anything for a long time. Like, we didn't get married till 2 years ago.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
We were just together forever.
What?
Yeah.
You were together for 19 years?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah.
See, I love that though. It's like you're just living life with each other. And like if the marriage comes and I don't know. Okay.
We really didn't
then just
care.
go when it feels right.
We didn't really
What's the
care.
rush?
There was no rush, and it didn't really mean anything different for us. It became something when my mom got sick, and a friend of mine was like, I really wish I had done it before I lost my dad, because when I did it and he wasn't there, it like was really hard for me. And so my mom had just been diagnosed with stage 4 brain cancer, and I remember Kris Jenner telling me, she's like, tomorrow is never promised. And I was like, okay. And so Fox, I was hosting New Year's Eve for Fox in Times Square, and they asked me if we would get married on the show. And I said yes, and we surprised my parents, we surprised everybody, and we got married there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
that's incredible. Cool. Well, that's one way to do it.
Let me just tell you, amazing way to do it. No invites, no stress, nothing. And I had the entire world watching, and it was perfect. So everybody was invited. I didn't have to do anything.
Everyone was fine with it.
Yeah. And then we did a really fun.
That is amazing.
We did a fun wedding in Greece at the end of the year, in the village that my dad's from. So it was fun. But you really, it takes time. You have to go through challenges to see how that person handles challenges, right? Like there's so many things to get to know about somebody. So I say, don't rush, enjoy your time. You guys are together. It doesn't matter whether there's a piece of paper. Enjoy each other. And then, yeah, you see where life takes you.
I completely agree with that. That's one piece of advice someone did give me too. It's like, you want this person to be able to support you, when someone passes away, or, when something happens with you and your health, and who's going to be that person at the end of the day. And like, those are the things I was thinking about while I was on the show. If you want to know the honest truth, I've been married before. So like the hot and the heavy stuff, like I know that stuff fades. I know that I need someone that, again, why my person needs to be loyal, and I can trust them and I can communicate with them. It's because I know how hard a marriage can be. So I completely agree with that.
Yep. And I, for some reason at 19 was like, you're a caretaker. I want you. And I was like a chubby 19-year-old in college. And I was like, I'm going to make you fall in love with me. And that's it. You're stuck with me forever. And then who would know that my mom and I would both get brain tumors, and I needed a caretaker. And he has helped me and my parents through every horrible moment, and always has a solution, can fix anything, whatever it is. And you need that in life. Like, to me, that was, I don't know why I knew that at such a young age, but I knew I wanted a best friend, a partner, like a loyal ride or die person next to me, because all of that other stuff comes and goes and, ebbs and flows. And, if you have that, you're rock solid, and that's all you need in life.
Yeah. But it's so funny. It doesn't seem like a really hard concept, but so many people don't even think about that.
Yeah, well, it's where your priorities lie, right? Like for you, you learned kind of the hard way, what you really wanted and what was important, and it's it's hard in this world. Like I think we're taught to value, well, how much money does he make and what's his job? And that's why I was so impressed, Brendan like did roofing. He wasn't a NASA astronaut. He wasn't on Wall Street. He was a good, pure guy who worked hard. I know there would never have been anyone more, well, Zach, okay, outside of Zach, that would be more loyal, more loving, more caring. You saw how he was with his family. And those are the qualities that you want in life, right? Because there are going to be so many challenges thrown your way. And I've always looked around and I was like, okay, yeah, how would that, if I had run away with that thought, where would that have taken me? Where would he have been in these trials, these tough moments? And there's just nobody that would ever compare to him. So, it's hard to nobody teaches you that. Everyone's like, oh my God, what does he make? And, does he fit all the bills for everybody else? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when I met Kevin, he was making a movie and was soon after that bankrupt, driving a beat up van. And people were like, you should be with somebody who drives a Lexus and all these stupid opinions. So that's cool. You guys do you. I know I have somebody with the best heart in the world who's got my back. I don't need any of your opinions. And that was it. So.
Wow. And look at you now.
And we made it together. And look at us now. So I'm happy for you. And I always saw this in you when I was watching. You have such a good head on your shoulders. And, I think you're going to be all right.
Gonna be all right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Well,
super quick, Tayshia, before we let you go, I just have to ask if you're watching this season.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, I have tuned in a little bit.
The only reason I ask is because one of your hallmarks as someone in kind of the Bachelor universe is you're so supportive of other women. I feel like you're known as a woman who empowers other women. You always support other women. And I feel like this season we're seeing none of that. And I feel like Matt is doing amazing. His connection with the girls is amazing. But there's so much catfighting in the house. And I'm wondering, as someone whose hallmark is sort of supporting other women, like what your thoughts on this season are.
And like bullying too. Not even just catfighting, like not the classic, but like the bullying.
It's like dirty.
It's bad.
It makes me sad that those are the things that like America is watching, because the good thing though is that everyone's kind of not interested in it and they're recognizing it, but I will say it's like very unfortunate that they feel to really punch below the belt and really try to say hurtful things that can follow somebody for a long time. I feel like the word villain has always been around in the Bachelor franchise, but I feel like it's definitely changed as the seasons have progressed. Like now it's like I said, really shooting below the belt. A while ago, it would be because, somebody wanted to get more attention from like the lead. And so they wouldn't show up to the date and like, just really be like, woe is me, pay more attention to me. Like that would be the villain of the show, like stealing more airtime. But these girls, this is the thing. One thing about watching yourself on television, you will see those actions play back and you will learn eventually. So that's another blessing from being on TV is, no matter how beautiful you are or how ugly you are, you're going to see it back and you're going to have to own that up.
Amen.
And there's the quote we would use with Tayshia.
That's real good.
I love it. Well, Tayshia, thank you so much for being with us, and wish you all the best when you head back to New York. We've got snow on the East Coast. Lots of snow.
A lot of it.
I hear.
Get
ready.
I
hear. I'm really excited to go back. I'm sad I missed my first snowfall, but it's okay.
It's still here. You'll see more. Anyhow, thank you so much. Have an amazing rest of your day. And if you
You
guys want
too.
more from Tayshia, she has her podcast, Clickbait with Grocery Store Joe and Natasha Parker. It drops on Sundays. You can also follow her on Instagram at Tayshia. We will put that all in the summary of this episode. We'll see you soon.
Thank you. Sounds good. By the way, it drops actually on Thursdays.
Oh, sorry.
Ooh.
Bad info.
That's my fault. I'm getting fired.
Jeff's leaving this week.
Hold on, wait, Tayshia. In front of you, his favorite Bachelorette and his favorite show. Jeff, you're fired. Tayshia, it's his last day.
Like it actually is.
It is actually his last day.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, no.
Only fitting that Jeff would screw up your thing. It's perfect.
Jeff, were you asking for me to be like, can this man please be taken off the
I guess I was.
Yikes.
Well, Jeff, in that case, enjoy your last day. Thank you.
Oh my
Thank you,
God.
Tasha. Thank you.
What a great send off for
I
Jeff.
appreciate this. You guys are so fun.
Thank you.
So fun. Thank you, Tasha.
Bye. Have a good
Bye.
one.
You too. All right, Jeff, your dreams have come true. You got fired by Tayshia.
That was hilarious.
It's like The Apprentice.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
That's great.
Wow.
She's awesome.
She's so great.
Yeah.
I love it.
She's so great. She has such a cool energy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a mix of like she's very confident, but like you said, I love the word feminine because you look at her, she's just like she's a light. She's really great. I really really like her.
Yeah, me too. All right, as we're wrapping out the show, we need to head over to Kelsey's Heal Squad
That's right.
messages
Thank you.
because Jeff, you aren't going to leave without some nice messages from our
Oh no,
Heal Squad.
'Kay.
Apparently,
I'm about to cry.
Don't cry.
dry
We'll
your
see.
eye, and here comes your mother with those two little guys, little Snoop.
So good,
What?
little Snoop. So I have to say, Jeff, first of all, this was all Stephanie reached out to me and was like, you know how you emailed about getting messages from the Heal Squad for Maria and Kevin for Christmas? I think we should do that for Jeff. Like, I'll help you. I know you have a lot on your plate. So she did this whole thing. She reached out to everyone.
No way. I
Yep.
love stuff.
I know, she's the best. And
She really is.
she's awesome. Like, even to the point where she was like, I can't find this person on Facebook or Instagram. Do you have their email? Like, so sweet. And she made this really great flower. So I'll send it to you, but I'll read a couple of them because they're just so beautiful. So I am sad to see Jeff go, but thrilled that he is following his dream. Jeff compliments Maria and Kelsey so well and better together, and as a result, the program flows effortlessly and seamlessly. Jeff adds a perspective that makes me think and allows me to see the bigger picture in what is presented. He always has worthwhile and well thought out contributions. He is gracious in how he asks questions, and an effort and gratitude and attention are evident in the overall production of Better Together. Thank you, Jeff. There is no need to wish you good luck, as I know you will be hugely successful.
Aw.
Would love to watch
so
the film
nice.
when it is available. That's from Teresa Palmer.
I know you're gonna have
Love
a whole
Teresa.
like legion of fans that are gonna send love to the movie. By the way, what about his sharp observations?
Sharp. That's right. That's our favorite.
You know,
This one is from Jan and her dog Tessie, so I have to read
Jan.
because we love Jan.
We love Jen.
Dear Jeff, we will all miss you so much. You are so kind, empathetic, intelligent, and so very well spoken. You've made me smile, slow coffee, and cry when I see the emotion on your face. I wish you and your wife, Laura, nothing but happiness in your journey. Success will come to you. You shine from the inside. We'll think of you often. Love, Tessie and Jan.
oh,
I know. Okay, then I have to find Stephanie's because, of course, she made this, so I have to read hers. Ready? Jeff, what a blessing you have been to the show. I remember when you first started learning in the booth with Steven, and I was so intrigued about the new guy on the show. I related to you so much as a fellow Christian and always being open to all the new ideas you presented on the show. You were so incredibly thoughtful and thorough in your work, which you executed with the best attitude. The individuals working with you on your movie are so lucky to have you as their guide and their mentor. You are vulnerable and strong, which is the perfect combination for a leader. You are such a shining light during what is a very dark year. You have beautiful stories to tell and share them with the world, and I can't wait to support you on your very long career in film. Congratulations, as I've told you many times, if you ever find yourself in Louisiana, let me know so I can make it the best experience ever. Sincerely, Stephanie. And there's many more. You guys are all so beautiful.
wow.
I know. Very special Heal Squad we have.
I've seen some of these messages and I'm just so taken aback. And to honor our Heel Squad, not all audiences are like this. You all are so intelligent, so thoughtful, and such beautiful writers. I mean, I feel so privileged. What I have written in some comments is if my film finds an audience that's half as wonderful as this Heel Squad, I will feel so fulfilled. So, like, just everyone who's listening right now, it's a really special audience you've curated, Maria. I feel so lucky to have been a part of it. And and Maria, you can relate to this. When you get to produce for those types of people, it truly is such an honor. So the honor is all mine. And I love our Heel Squad. I really, really do.
I know. We love them too. And we love you, Jeff, and your sharp observations and your slow coffee. And no, it's true. Like, you do have sharp observations.
You really do.
And,
No, you truly do.
You have just such a great way to take in all the information and, dissect it and put it back out there. But also your journey from start to now, and I'm not saying finish because I know you're going to be back. I just know. I know you're going to finish the movie. And then you're going to be bumping back on the show.
I think so too.
I know it, in whatever capacity. But I feel like your journey in growing and learning doesn't really stop here. And so you'll be back for at least just that reason. But where you started, like, I remember Steven on the show, and Steven will be back, guys. And he's always been behind the scenes, but he'll be back more with us now that Jeff is moving on. But you were like the more even-keeled skeptic.
Right. Steven.
Like, Steven is like more the conspiracy theory kind of skeptic and just like goes real heavy. And sometimes it's like, shit, just Steven, you're going real deep here. Like, enough. You're killing the vibe. You are a skeptic with an open heart. And your growth just last week, hearing you talk about angels, the word angels is coming out of your mouth and like all these things. And I was like, whoa, you've come such a long way, but you just have added so much empathy and love and warmth to this show that I'm appreciative of, and I'm going to really miss, and I'm going to miss having you to bounce things off of. You just are so intelligent and so such good recall too. Like, I have horrible recall and memory now, and I'm gonna blame my stupid brain tumor for it. So it's
That's
nice
valid.
It's nice to be like, oh, Jeff will remember who it was. And you were always so classy, such a great representation of the show, of me, to our guests, to everybody, that I never had to worry. And that's why I was being interviewed today by somebody about, what it was like to put this team together. And I'm like, man, it's not easy to put a team together, but we really had the A team with you guys, because you're both incredible, incredible hearts, which is the biggest part. And then just everything that goes along with it. So I am going to miss you terribly. And under normal circumstances, I would probably start wailing, but I already did that a week ago. Yeah. And under normal circumstances, I would, because I think it's over, but I don't think it's over. I think you're going to be back, and I'm excited for that.
Me too.
I have that same feeling too. And, Marie, you talk about my growth. I'm not stopping listening to this show. Like, it's still going to be a part of my daily routine. I just won't necessarily be working on it, but I've always said I'm a producer, but I'm such a fan of the show and the way you interview and who comes on the show. So,
Thanks, Jeff.
I'm going to be listening every week anyway. So I hope to keep improving just by having this show as a part of my life in that capacity.
I love it. Well, we love you.
You too.
And thank you for everything that you've done. You've worked so hard, and you've done so much to bring the show up to the level that it is now. And hopefully we'll keep making you proud.
That's right.
Oh, you will.
I want all the notes, Jeff. Jeff's going to be texting me after he listens.
Yeah.
All the notes.
I'm going to keep pitching guests too.
Oh, I
like,
know.
Kelsey, you have to bring this person on, like, because I want to hear you interview these people, Maria. So I'll definitely at least be shooting Kelsey names of people I want to see on the show.
Thank you. Well, we love it. All right, guys, that is it for us today. If you want, you can follow us at Better Together with Maria, at Jeffrey Crane Graham, at Kelsmeyer2, of course, at Tayshia. Can't forget at Princess Winnie.
Please don't forget her,
This little poodle nugget bitch. You're a poodle nugget bitch. And remember, be nice people, make good choices, and be present.